Press a coconut and you'll get a jar of rich hair grease. Great oil. But that oil inside the body clogs your system. Nice coconut water. Let's look at the ingredients here. Young coconut water, young coconut pulp, sugar, sodium, carbomethyl, cellulose, malic acid, and sodium metabisulfite. Contains coconut sulfite. Sounds like something delicious to kill you. Oh, they got the hydration drink. This is a nice thing to drink if you want to die. The electrolyte drink. Oh, they got the smoothies, the protein drinks, the lemonades. Nice cool lemonade. Let's look at the ingredients. Oh, this is glycerol ester of wood rosin, medium chain triglycerides, FD and C yellow number 5. They got some sodium citrate and sodium benzoate. Oh, it's all kind of stuff in there. Let's look at the hydration jar. Drink this stuff besides water if you want. Oh, they got coconut water, citric acid, potassium phosphate, magnesium citrate. They got some sucralose, beta-carotene for colors in there. Of course, they're going to put the acesulfame in there. Potassium D-alpha tocopherol. I can't even pronounce ACA. Oh, this is the same stuff that's in crack. And I know you love the fresh watermelon water. Look at this. Let's guess. Okay. Ingredients. Everything except watermelon. Yeah, right. Many Americans are not aware of the coconut controversy. See, coconuts grow in poor areas, islands where black, brown, yellow, and red people, and even animals have to pick the coconuts. I'm talking plantations. I'm talking $200 a year in payment, while the 10% rich get paid off of this slave labor. They'll pay our people $200 a year and put that crap on the market for $60 a case, $7 a bottle, $5 a bottle. They making so much money, they now got it in the Dollar Tree for $1.25 a bottle. And they add all these grafted and chemical ingredients to make sure that you mentally and physiologically get addicted to the chemicals that they add to the coconut water to enslave you. Wake up. Remember, the 10% are the rich slave makers of the poor. The 5%, even though you don't want to hear us, we're the poor righteous teachers. The Bible teaches us about a follower of Elijah known as Elisha. El means God, and Isha in Arabic is the end of the prayers. So this God that comes in to destroy that mystery God, he comes in as an iconoclast. He comes in to break up that spooky stuff that the people was believing and worshiping in. And he uses the messenger's message to guide the people through this age of mess. Elijah tossed down his mantle to him. There is no successors to Messenger Elijah Muhammad. But this Elisha represents not one individual, but many. It represents those that believe as Allah and his messenger believes. Those that give their all in the cause of peace, truth, freedom, justice, and equality. Our worldview is real simple. Only the messenger's message will guide us through this age of mess. I don't care how many books of tricknology, how many plagiarized Google studies you do, Wikipedias, and whatever. You cannot go out into the devil's world and find something superior to a law God who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom all praises are due forever, nor that of his first, last, and only messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Truth is the daughter of time. As time moves forward, it will give birth to the truth. Those that you think are leading you to heaven are actually leading you straight to hell on earth while you live. To those of you that live in the country of India, you have no doubt as to the mass greed and corruption of the 10% rich slave makers of the poor that came to India and extracted your fresh water to make soda pop. Okay? So this, coconut water owned by the Vita Coco Corporation, Ira, Lyran, and Michael Kurban, co-founded by Michael Kurban, they have their market share. Then come the Vico founder, Mark Rampola, and he comes in and he gets his money off of this coconut water. And, then you have what's called the Harmless Harvest coconut water, which was founded by Justin Gilbert and Douglas Reibold, and these 10% rich slave makers of the poor literally are spending millions of dollars to bombard social media and advertising and TV and radio to try to convince not just black people. Now, one thing I got to do, you got to respect the white man's hustle. They the gods of this world. They the 10% rich slave makers of the poor. According to our lessons, they teach what? They teach lies, technology, but they understand the science. Many people you'll hear so many people talking about capitalism. So many people talk about socialism, communism. No, it's about one thing and one thing only. Imperialism. Once you understand imperialism, then you will understand how gangsters make the world go round. Then you will understand how money talks. And every religion, I don't care if you Muslim, Christian, if you're atheist, if you're Pan-African, whatever you think you are, recognize and realize you are under not a mystery God, but a true and living white man God. White men rule the planet Earth and outer space as gods. They're not the natural God. They're not the true and living God. They're the wizards of God, of Oz. Like see, in the Wizard of Oz, you got the white screen, you got the big giant white image of the white man's head. And when Dorothy and the Tin Man and the Scarecrow, the cowardly lion came over there, the cowardly lion from Africa, he like, he needed courage, not realizing he had courage by nature. He just wouldn't fight for himself. The Tin Man come over there talking about, he wanted a heart. He had to love himself. The Scarecrow came over there, can you give me a brain? The fact that you ask the question shows you has a brain. You just need to think and do for yourself. But we believe in these fake images. We believe in these mystery gods. And when Dorothy came after her house or her nation or her community was caught up in a whirlwind, in a tornado, and she landed in the land that was not her own, we got caught up. And we got spread up in the diaspora. We was all over America and Central America and South America, North America, and on the islands of Cuba and Jamaica. Everywhere we was at, 100% of these lands were ruled by the imperialists. Some of us, even in that matrix, was able to separate ourselves from the devil's technology and became maroons, renegades. We became the troublemakers, the rebels, the Nat Turner, the Denmark Veseys. These were called the slave uprisings. No! We was like, yo, the Native American Indians was like, yo, our people was like on tip, like, yo, y'all just literally coming over here destroying our civilization. And y'all won't even give us reparations. And here you got the bad guys making the good guys appear to be the bad guys. And the people think that the villains of the people are the heroes of the people, and that the heroes of the people are the villains of the people. They think that the good guys are the bad guys and the bad guys are the good guys. And sad to say, this is just simply the world in which we live. So when we see wars all over the planet Earth, you can't tell who's, you got the bad guys acting like we're the good guys. No, you're the bad guys. You're the imperialists. You're the ones that came inside somebody else's house and destroyed their family and took over their house. And then you said, well, what we're going to do, we're going to be fair. We're going to move y'all into the basement and we're going to live on the first floor and second floor. And if you rebel, we're going to consider you a problem. And since you're in our house, we're going to deal with you as though you're the invader. And the people who own the house, who built the house, who've been living there, they like, yo, what is you talking about? This is our land. This is our country. How can you come in our country, invade our space, and take and put a border on our land? Imagine the Native American Indians. Imagine the so-called Mexicans. Having the Spaniards and the English and the Dutch and the Portuguese and the French and the Italian. Imagine them having European powers come over here in the wilderness of North America. Imagine Chris Columbus seeing all of their kingdoms, and saying, I am the founder of America. They be like, he playing, right? Like that's a good one. Like, y'all Europeans, y'all some real funny comedians. But they serious. And they will show and prove that they serious with their cannons and their rifles and their swords and their technology. And they use technology, a mixture of tricks with real knowledge, to deceive you and to colonize you and to spread imperialism on every square inch of the 57,255,000 square miles of land and every square inch of the 139,685,000 square miles of water. And when we combine the land and the water, which the angel of Allah prophesies in the book of Revelation, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in 1972 that the angel of Allah will come. And when that seventh angel come, they're going to call him the troublemaker, the dreadful one. Why? Because he's going to put 1 foot on the land and 1 foot on the water. And when you combine that land, that 57,255,000 square miles of land with that 139,685,000 square miles of water, it totals 196,940,000 square miles of the planet Earth. Every square inch of this earth is ruled by imperialism, colonialism, technology. And our people, 85% of us, have no idea of what's really going on. They believe the hype, as Public Enemy said. They think that the good guys are the bad guys. The soldiers that sacrifice their all for the people gets no support, no recognition. But they go for the charlatans, the snake oil salesmen. They put it in about, oh, this can cure anything. Just send me the money. 10%. Rich, slave makers of the poor. But the death angels are on the wings, family. And you have no idea. As the messenger of Allah said, the angels just fold their arms and they just wait. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. See, your concept of time. See, we understand that time is created by motion. If you put some sand inside of an hourglass, as the grains or the granules of sand go through there, you could calculate the motion and extract minutes, and you could extract seconds and minutes and hours out of that, days and weeks and years out of that. The angels are patient. Why? Because the original man has no beginning nor ending, family, where our mind is not limited by time nor space. We have no doubt that we will defeat Satan and all his imps. Why? Because it's written. We're going to win because we already won. Wait and see. The final two gods of the coconut water industry of Harmless Harvest, which was founded by Justin Gerbert and Douglas Reibold, they are two intelligent, brilliant capitalists, imperialists that, it's like, see, one thing about you got to understand, when it comes to coconuts, 9 times out of 10, they're coming from poor lands, poor countries, islands, what have you. Know what I mean? Like I said, we need to separate, our needs from our wants. If you're going to use some coconut water, use it for survival purposes. Use it as a supplement, but do not have your body depend itself on coconut water. Allah taught the messenger to give the baby a little milk before meat. Many of our people are simply not ready for reality or haqq. I would like to share with you a quote from Messenger Elijah Muhammad and how to properly interpret the scriptures. He compiled it in a series that we have in book form called The Theology of Time. He delivered it live on August the 6th of 1972, and the Supreme Secretaries compiled it, and his ministers eventually published it on page 157 in book form, titled The Theology of Time. The messenger explains, and I quote, "I know what is going to take place. Allah has taught me of what's going to take place in this time. Some of it I don't like to tell you. It won't make you feel so good, and I want you to feel good while I'm teaching. The Bible teaches you that the devil will have power to rule over the people until God comes and destroys them. This is true. God prepared hell for him in the day that he was made. Think over that. Before the man was ever made, hell was prepared for him. If the Bible teaches you that, Christian believers, why do you want to go along with him since his destination is hell? You say, quote, I don't know when that will be, neither do you. No one is given the hour. No one is given that hour but God himself. And then he passes it over to that angel that you read of in the Revelation that places one foot on water and one on land. Bible, Revelations chapter 10, verse 2. The preachers used to use their imaginations in that. Of course, they didn't get too far from the truth. They used to say that the angel would ask God, quote, how loud was the sound? He'd make it a little imaginary. I used to hear my father preach it, and he'll put his imagination to it because he didn't know. Today, all imagination is removed, and the light of truth must shine so clear that you cannot claim that there was a cloud between you and it. I am that little boy that's talking to you now. There is nobody coming behind me but God. I better tell you that. There are 3 primary pesticides that they use on these coconuts. Methyl bromide as a fumigant, chlorophyros, thiophanate, methyl, and imanzolil. Now, this methyl bromide, it simply has no color. You can't even smell it, family. If you struck a match to this gas, it won't explode, none of that kind of stuff. But it affects your brain. It affects your lungs, your reproductive organs in men and women. It produces birth defects. It messes up the planet's ozone layer. And this is the poison that the 10% rich slave makers of the poor are using to sacrifice our health and our well-being to fill their pockets with coconut water money. The exact same poison developed by the scientists for Adolf Hitler in Nazi Germany is being used to spray coconuts to present to you water to drink. Why are they spraying the coconuts? They claim that they need these fungal sprays to kill the fungal diseases and the mold growth and the various pests that are inherent to coconuts. So they treat them with various toxic pesticides and fungicides. And here we come, the so-called American Negro, the so-called African American, the so-called conscious community. We want to come in and drink this concentrated form of poison. Surah 30 of the Holy Quran is titled Aram, or the Romans are conquered. The original name of the holy city ruled by black people was called Becca, but we was invaded and colonized and imperialized by the Romans, Al-Rum. And they renamed the holy city of Becca to the holy city of Mecca. And to this day, you have 1 billion Muslims bowing down to what used to be an ancient holy city of Becca. The place of gathering is now known as Mecca. And if you go over there now, they have it where American oil corporations had their roots all over the place. So this is the world we're living in. Imperialism, capitalism. Money makes the world go round. It's sad, but it's just a harsh reality that we as 5% poor righteous teachers must accept as a fact. And then realize the only way we're going to be able to make progress under Satan's system, we got to beat him at his own game. We got to get money. We got to get the bag, family, because money is power in a capitalist imperialist system. We don't have no political control. We don't have no even right now, everything that you hear me teaching is done on social media. We have to do it through YouTube and Meta or Facebook and X or Instagram and TikTok. So we don't control our own forms of communication. One of the basic elementary military manuals that the FYNMGTs study is secure communications, spear and shields. If you ain't down with spear and shields, make sure y'all holler at me. Go on my website at noireport.online or email me at ministeralif@gmail.com. Know what I mean? But it's, we're in a real unique predicament here, family. Know what I mean? Because the Holy Quran teaches us that corruption has appeared on the land and the sea. I don't care if you're eating seafood, if you're eating if you're eating plant life from the bottom of the ocean, from the reefs. Now, I mean, people like, I eat sea moss and this, that, the other. It's like, listen, it's lead, it's poison, it's mercury, it's toxins, it's poison in the water. You'd be like, I'm vegan, I'm a vegetarian, I only eat fruits and berries. And it's like, yo, fam, it don't make a difference. They got all types of grafted fruits, hybrid fruits, genetic modified organisms, the wheat, the barley, the rye, the fruit trees, the pears, the apples, the tomatoes, your broccoli. It's like, no, real broccoli look like a tiny thin blade of grass. I mean, it's like your red onions, all of that stuff is either grafted or being poisoned by pesticides. Many people think there's such thing as organic fruits and vegetables on Earth. How can it be organic fruits and vegetables when we have an ecosystem, a water system? We live on a planet covering 196,940,000 square miles. The sky is exactly 6 miles high, family. The pollution over there comes here. Allah taught us in our lessons that the devil contaminates 3 cubic feet of air every hour. And the Holy Quran teaches us in Surah 30 or chapter 30, ayat or verse 41, that corruption has appeared on the land and the sea on account of what mankind's hands have wrought. The devils have touched every square inch of our planet. All we can do at this point is make the best out of a bad situation.